Hello, and welcome to English 101 Academic Writing, a presentation by instructor Eleanor Tipton from the University of Maryland. In this presentation, I'm going to cover two major rhetorical concepts, inquiry and stasis theory. I'm also going to spend some time discussing academic conversations and how you should look for the conversation as you begin to do your research into your topics that you've chosen for the course of the semester. Through these concepts, we will better understand the argument of inquiry essay assignment and how to define what this type of argument is, which comes from first developing your own questions, as you know, and then seeking out the research of others to further your thinking on the topic. Now let's take some time to define our first concept, inquiry. Inquiry is like a tree with many roots. If the trunk is homelessness, for example, let's say we've chosen homelessness as our topic for the course of the semester, then neither its single leaves nor its individual roots really give you the complete definitions or explanations for its causes and effects. Therefore, your inquiry should seek to uncover the multiple questions of existence, causes, and effects. Now let's take about 30 seconds to review our definition of stasis theory, which is the classical rhetorical tool that's a foundation for well-developed arguments. Stasis theory is a classification tool for understanding others' arguments, a way of inventing ideas for your own arguments, and a way of identifying, understanding, evaluating, and analyzing an issue. Your use of stasis theory in your research now helps you to create lines of inquiry so that you can more effectively propose an action on your topic later in the semester. So the first step in your research project is to listen in on the conversation. And by listening in, what you want to uncover are these questions. What's really at issue? What's the debate? What's the conversation? This is the work for your annotated bibliography. So let's say, for example, that these women are the main voices on your chosen topic, and you really get a sense of what their opinions and assumptions and beliefs are about the chosen topic. But there are more opinions than just these three women. For example, there might be another group of men that kind of informally debate this, maybe in a popular forum, or maybe a higher class, a wealthy class of men that debate this and have a different opinion and a different set of assumptions and beliefs to interpret what we should do about this problem. Still, there might be other voices, like an academic scholar, such as this woman here, who might have a different view. And finally, there might be these politicians here who have ultimately a completely different set of ideas on how we should address the problem. Your next step in the process is to create an open-ended line of inquiry. Think about your question, about phrasing your question so that you can see an opening in both directions. For example, the question, what are the effects of poverty on children of families from multi-generational wealth disparities, is more open than why are children from impoverished families destined to repeat the cycle of poverty? This second question rests on the assumption that children are indeed destined to repeat the cycle without first exploring if, in fact, they are. And it may very well be the case that the second question is true, but at this stage in your research, what you need to do is really take a step back and examine your own biases and opinions and beliefs about the issue and see if you can get those out. so that you're really looking at an open-ended line of inquiry, and that way you can really begin to assess and understand the problem. So the third step is to inquire intensely. So here's a great quote: "Believe those who are seeking the truth, doubt those who find it." So don't worry about arguing for a particular position over another with this essay. Rather, follow the roots that are your inquiry, as well as the inquiry that the information you uncover develops for you. So to return now to our analogy from the beginning, your aim is to uncover the complexities within the issue. So let's go through the questions of stasis theory now. You first might examine one root, and you might say, it's malnourished. That would be an example of a question from fact, and you would establish the fact. Then you might say, is this piece a root or a branch? How do we categorize it? That's from definition. Is this tree like the one next to it? This is another question from definition or conjecture stasis. Then you can move into cause and effect, right? How did the root become malnourished? What type of leaves produce from these roots? And now remember, for this particular essay, you don't need to move beyond this level of stasis theory. You can explore very in-depth the questions from definition and cause and effect and have a very successful line of inquiry. For your next two essays, your digital forum and your position paper, you will move into evaluation and action. So your next question might look like this: is the soil too poor for healthy growth? Is it a good or a bad thing? You would evaluate it now. And once you've made the necessary evaluations based on the causes and effects you uncovered, as well as the categories of definition, you can then begin to assess the policy and propose some action. Should we add soil nutrients to strengthen the roots? So this concludes my presentation about the Argument of Inquiry essay, and I hope that you enjoyed it. Please let me know if you have any questions, and you can also contact your librarian as well.